Hello guys, so today's video is about a new stove I got from Firemaple. So it's called the Polaris. It's a pressure regulated isobutane stove. It's a very good stove. I've been using it many times on many camping trips. I've used it in summer. Of course it works very well, but since it's pressure regulated, I also wanted to test it during cold winter conditions. So as you can see, it's a pretty compact system. It comes in this plastic case, very sturdy. Let's open it. So you get the stove. The stove here is made out of mostly stainless steel, but you got some aluminum and copper components to it. It's quite light. It comes down to 2.7 ounces or 76 grams. And if you look at the dimensions, it's 2 inches by 2 inches by 3 inches, or roughly 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters by 76 millimeters. So let's deploy this one here. So as you can see, it has 3 stands, so very easy to deploy, and they click in position. So here's the next one here, click and click, and these are going to hold your pot no problem. Here's the regulator that can deploy, and it works quite well. So this stove is quite a powerful stove, rated at 8,530 BTU, and I've been using it for many different applications. Of course, you can heat your food, but you can also use it to melt some snow if you need to make water in winter conditions. So one of the important features of a pressure regulated stove is that it's much less sensitive to cold. As you might know, usual stoves like the MSR Pocket Rocket, sometimes they perform not too well when you get to altitude or you get to cold temperatures. And this is due to the fact that the isobutane in your stove won't vaporize efficiently and your stove will eventually go off. So one feature I really like with this stove compared to the Pocket Rocket is that it's got these multiple holes here, burn holes, so that helps with an even burn, and they're recessed inside this pan, so that definitely helps to protect the flame against wind. And this stove is definitely more wind resistant than a Pocket Rocket, so that's another nice feature. So you could definitely use butane canisters with this stove, but in winter conditions it's preferable to use the isobutane mix, usually composed of 20% propane and 80% isobutane. So it was roughly minus 12 degrees Celsius that day, and with the combination of the pressure regulated stove and the isobutane, it worked pretty good. So this stove doesn't have a piezoelectric lighter, but it's very easy to light with a ferro rod, no problem. So as you can see at the beginning of the video, the stove and the small canister can easily fit in the titanium Firemaple bush pot, so that makes for a very convenient cook system. So I was melting some snow to get some water for winter camping, and I was surprised to see how efficient the Polaris stove was to melt that water. One thing that's important to know is that you shouldn't just drink that water straight out. There could still be some pathogens in there, so it's always safer to get the water boiling. And I did a few tests. You can boil roughly half a liter or 500 milliliters or 17 ounces in about 1 minute and 50 seconds. So that's pretty impressive. All right, so what are my conclusions on this stove? So I've got multiple different types of stove, the Pocket Rocket, the Soto stove. This one works extremely well, never had a problem with it, and it works down to cold temperatures for sure. Another big benefit is the price. The price is very good. So if you look at the quality to price ratio, I think this one is very difficult to beat, so I definitely recommend it.